how is your own portfolio? Just broad structures, what kind of stocks do you like? We've discussed so many times in life about how the market is and how it's going to go from here onwards. But what is your own personal choice when it comes to creating wealth for yourself?
So the way I look at the market and the stocks is one. I think one is definitely good governance is one thing basically. That is our top priority basically whenever we go out and see it. The second thing is the market only pays price for growth, especially in emerging markets like India. The participants are not willing to pay much basically for cash flows. Though you will find a lot of companies basically who has got huge cash flows, but market is not interested. So you have to find a combination of a good governance, good growth, and a reasonable valuation. These are the two or three factors basically I would put in. Once in a while, you will come across stocks where basically these cash flows are so strong and the market is totally ignoring them. And that is what you know is a value play.
Yes.
Though management may not be of the pristine quality, but the cash flow itself is very strong. You can't ignore it. So I'm saying, and valuations are very cheap. So I'm saying these are the kind of plays basically which I always look for.
Wonderful. And do you hold a very concentrated portfolio of maybe 10, 15 stocks, or are you a player of diversification?
So 80% of my wealth will always be in the not more than 15 stocks, or even lesser basically. But there will be always 8 or 10 stocks basically, which will always be on my portfolio, because it's like I'm saying you want to. The way I typically invest is basically I'll never buy any 100% until it's coming through a block or something. But typically I would buy and hold on and see how the management, whatever it is saying, has continued to perform. And so those are basically on the watch list, and we continue to accumulate there.
Okay. And do you have a preference for mid caps?
I think when you talk growth, largely it becomes mid-caps basically, but then mid-caps is also today, I'm saying even a 30,000, 40,000 crore is a mid-cap according to the new guidelines. So those are pretty large ones basically now.
Yes. Nischal ji, one thing that Mr. Trump has said is that he would prefer a weak dollar, and the dollar itself has corrected from say 110 down to about 97, 98. In this broader context, how do you feel about allocations to gold and silver?
So I'm saying there are two ways to look at on gold and silver. One is obviously the currency and how interest rates are going to move in across the world. And the second thing is it's of its use basically. So silver as a commodity I've invested in, and gold obviously all of us own. So I want to make that disclosure basically. But silver as a commodity I've invested in, and I feel very strongly about silver, because silver is now become not a precious metal anymore. It's more of an industrial metal. So whether it is solar, whether it is batteries, whether it's electronics, I think there are so many industries basically where silver is used, and silver has got only a finite production. So for the last 2.5 years, you have been running a deficit as far as silver is concerned, production wise. And the consumption continues to grow at 8 to 10% every year. So I'm saying somewhere, and that's why silver has at a price level also performed very well in the last 1.5 years. But I still see a good run for silver in the next 2-3 years. So I think that is one. It's a commodity which is no more a precious metal now, and it is not driven by the interest rate scenario. Gold, on the other hand, is driven by the world economy. But what has happened in the last 2 years is more and more people, because they do not, or I'm saying countries, since they do not want to hold everything into dollars or dollar denominated securities, they are moving towards gold. And that's why we're seeing very strong demand. I do not see that changing. I continue to see basically that gold reserves are going to be built by other countries, and that will keep the prices strong.
Okay. Mr. Maheshwari, for those who are listening to you and would like to invest in silver, what would you suggest to them? Buy physical silver in forms of bars, maybe buy ornaments or utensils because they are still affordable relatively, or get into ETFs?
I think ETF is a easier one basically. You can invest as low as whatever amount ETFs. I think one unit must be costing whatever amount, basically 100, 200 rupees. So that is a kind of thing basically you can start the investment. Because otherwise, physical, you buy it, how do you hold it, where do you keep it? I think all that security and all issues are there. ETFs is the easiest one to do it.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.